Hello and welcome back to this section, Securing Your Cloud Native Application. Let's start with the first video of this section, Security Features of Azure Web Application. Security is a very important aspect of any application, so in this video, we will secure our application. We'll go through the process of securing our cloud native application, which we created in the previous section. Using the methods described in this section, you'll be able to implement enterprise-grade security in your Azure cloud applications with ease and efficiency. We'll use the application that we created in the previous section and secure it using the Azure Active Directory. We'll perform most steps through the Azure portal, so get ready to follow along with the video and secure your instance of the sample application as well. In case you need to refer to a particular step, you can always pause the video or play it at a slower pace. We'll begin with a discussion on the existing security features of Azure Web Application. Here we have deployed our Java web application to Azure Web Application Service, which runs on Azure App Service. As we discussed earlier, Azure App Service is a platform as a service offering from Azure. Azure, as a major public cloud provider, puts a tremendous amount of emphasis, investment, and energy into security. Azure performs vigorous compliance tests on a continuous basis for our applications. If any vulnerabilities are detected within the Azure environments or our application components, appropriate measures like pushing the latest patches to the system-level software are executed automatically. These security checks and mechanisms are self-managed and they don't require any user intervention. Another security feature is that the communication of secrets, such as connection strings between our application and other Azure resources, stays within the secure boundary of Azure Cloud Services. These resources can be Azure Cosmos DB or RDS SQL database. These secrets are always encrypted when they're stored or persisted on disk. For instance, the Azure Cosmos database connection string, which we used in the previous section, is encrypted and secured by Azure. Connections with remote management tools such as PowerShell or Azure CLI or Azure SDKs are all encrypted. So this means that the connection we established between our host machine and Azure while managing our resources using Azure CLI in the previous section was encrypted and secure. Moreover, a 24/7 threat management system protects the infrastructure and platform against malware, distributed denial of service, DDoS, man-in-the-middle, and other similar threats. So now you might be wondering that with all these security features already available to you by the virtue of using Azure, is there anything missing? Well, currently our application is deployed on the open internet and it's accessible anonymously. So any user who has the URL link of our website can easily access the to-do list application. This may not be desirable, as the to-do list is a personal list. We should not be sharing this data between multiple users. So to secure our web application, we can establish an authentication and authorization mechanism so that before we show the to-do list data, we can determine who the user is and whether the user has the right permissions to access the data. So we use two important terms, authentication and authorization. So let's understand them. Authentication is the process of verifying the user's identity and ensuring the user is who they say they are. So, for instance, when you log into an application with a username and password, you are authenticating yourself. Authorization, on the other hand, is the process of verifying your access rights to a piece of functionality, resource, or data. For example, say if you want to secure the contents of a directory on a file system, you can set specific permissions for read, edit, and delete access to particular users. Azure App Service provides built-in authentication and authorization support, which helps you sign in users and provide data access in your web application by writing minimal or no code. It supports multiple authentication providers including Azure Active Directory, Microsoft Live Account, Facebook, Google, and Twitter.